Hi there. So, welcome to module two. So, I want you to really think about now this goal that you've written down. So, by now, you should have your goal written out, should be 2 to 3 sentences addressing what you really want. This goal is going to span over about a year to 2 years max, okay, maximum. And I really want you to go all out with your belief here. Okay, this is what faith means. Faith and fear are two things that you cannot see, but you can feel. You often have no evidence for it, or nothing you can show anybody why you're so fearful or why you're so in faith for something, but you just believe that. You do have an opportunity here. You're at a fork like this. You can either choose fear or you can choose faith. Now, with fear, a lot of anxiety comes up, right? A lot of barriers, a lot of obstacles, all the reasons why you think you can't do this, why you can't invest in yourself now, why you can't start your coaching practice now, why you can't leave your job now or significantly reduce your hours to go all in into your business. There are so many things that will come up, reasons that are sometimes even reasons you haven't created yourself, but they may even manifest through other people, reasons that why you shouldn't do this now in terms of fear that you're feeling, maybe your spouse or your mum or other people, because they can feel that energy. Sometimes they don't even know what's happening, and then they can actually come out with it instead, like, oh, are you sure you're able to do that because of all these reasons? And then you take that as evidence because they said it and it's not true. They're just reflecting back your own energy, but neither of you are really understanding what's going on here. This is what you can really go deep with. This is why I go deep with my clients, when you really understand anything, energy, thought energy. This is what I learned from I used to be a Bob Proctor coach. He's from The Secret, RIP, my friend. This is what he taught me, okay, when I was a Proctor Gallagher, Bob Proctor consultant. So this is all about thought energy, all right? When you really understand your thoughts, that thoughts can be changed, but the thoughts you do have really do create your reality, okay? So, for example, I had a thought I wanted to, I love being a doctor, but I wanted to find another way of doing it. But I mean, you can only be a doctor in a certain way, right? Like there's certain rules and guidance, especially in Western medicine. So I felt like, okay, well, there's still a system whether you decide to create your own practice or not. There's still rules and things you have to follow. And if you still think that you want to do things in a different way, which I really resonate with being a coach, I love being a doctor, and especially with being a healer, but I wanted to find a different thing, then you're going to sometimes come up with resistance because it's you've not been there before. Your mind, your mind has not been there before in that thinking. You've almost like we've not allowed it to get there. So you are going to come up with resistance, okay? And I'm telling you that because this is not about toxic positivity, pretending it's all fine. What we have to do instead is make the boat that we're in. We're like, I'm doing this. I've got conviction. I've got determination, but motivation is not enough. Okay, because there will be days when you'll be tired, when somebody will say something who makes you feel like, I don't know, they're not going to have the dreams that you have, but they've also not been through the pain that you've experienced. They've not had the judgment that you've experienced, right? So all of that is, this is your dream, your goal for you. Yes, you can do it for your family, do it for your faith, do it for those reasons too, but doing it for you and knowing that that in itself is huge self-love. Okay, even if no one understands what you're doing, why you're doing it, that is the greatest self-love. And this is the relationship, the one relationship that we have from birth until death. The absolute one. There will hopefully be other people around, who will be there with you, but most likely, people may not be, right? They'll be in different parts of their life. Like I love my kids, they're my best friends, but obviously they weren't there when I was born, right? They're here now. So do you see what I mean? So really take care of this relationship with self and really focus on why this is important for you to do and why now. Okay, I want you to write it down, all the reasons. I'm talking like 50 reasons why you should do it now. Anything that comes up as to why you think you shouldn't do it now, I want you to, I would say, completely ignore it. Okay, or what I would suggest you do is, if it's you're really feeling the pull, write it down. But then I want you to then write the opposite, why that's not true. Okay, and then I want you to take that side and I just want you to burn it. Okay, obviously you're doing this in terms of whatever you feel is for your highest good. Okay, so we're really going deep with, okay, this is our mission. We're going all in with this. We're doing it in a balanced way. So sleep, tick. healthy food, healthy nutrition, right? Ideally plant-based. We go through that in my program. Ideally plant-based, but anyway, healthy nutrition, exercise, sleep, right? And plenty of time with your family, right? So we're wrapping, what we're doing is we're doing family, faith, and fitness first. That's on the pillar here, elevating it up. And then your business model is then being created around that. And it's still going to be your soul mission and your purpose and your vision, everything you want. Because obviously, the way that you're doing your fitness, the way that you're living your family life, and the way that you're doing your faith is in alignment, so they're all in alignment with each other. And you're then doing your business, therefore, in a way where, like I said, you've already exercised, you meditated, you prayed, you've been with your family, all of those things. So maybe you're doing your business first thing in the morning. So I'm not talking about timing thing here, but what I mean is that you are coming from a place of balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine, which we all have, regardless of our gender. This is what I mean by self-leadership, and the healing that comes up, the resistance that comes up for us is exactly what needs to be healed. Okay. Now, I'm not saying you go and do something foolish, like completely, if you've got a family, like just be like, oh, I've quit my job, I'm going to do this. Like, you can do that. And I had a lot of people, a lot of my colleagues who have done that, and they are, 8, 9, 10, figures now, right? So I'm not saying you can't do that, but I also do believe that you can do things again in a balanced way, where maybe you're like, okay, so this is my exit plan for my job. By this month, I want to leave. I want to reduce the hours. Maybe I'll start reducing by these many hours, and then a few months later, I'll reduce by these many hours, and then maybe something comes up at work, like some policy change, or something that you take as, okay, I'm going to see this as divine guidance. That is time for me to then further reduce, because I'm going in the right direction, and by reducing, I'm allowing to create more energy to do this soul purpose, with gratitude for this job, with gratitude for where I've been, right, with gratitude for the past, because that's the reason I'm here right now on this path. Okay, so I want you to really write down all the reasons why now, why do this right now. Okay, because that's important. And it's not just your why, it's why now. And all the why nots, why you think you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. I'm not saying you just toxic positive, like, oh yeah, just straight away, don't care. No, because it will just keep coming up and it will act as a block. Instead, you write it out. Okay, if I'm really worried about, let me look at this. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. Okay, so then, but why is this also not true? Right? Why I should do it now? And then really looking to heal that. And obviously, if there is something that really comes up, then you can know that will often come into your business model, the way in which you're doing things, right? So some people, for example, stay in their job for like 10 years plus, and they want to build it really slowly in that way, right? And some people don't. Some people are like, oh, my job is like so toxic, or maybe it's not toxic. Maybe it's just the people are nice, they've got great work colleagues, everything's great, but it's just the nature of the role. For example, me being a doctor, it's very demanding. It's very like full on. So, when you're on, okay, and there's no breaks with that. And sometimes there are political systems involved in the care, the healthcare system, so that you have to serve in a certain way that you may not want to serve in that way anymore. It's nothing to do with your work people, your colleagues. It's nothing to do with the company. It's nothing to do with the beautiful patients. It's nothing to do with the sort of healing methodology as such. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But you just feel like altogether, the energy I feel when I do it is, I just know it's not me. It's not all of me. It starts to just not feel so great. And you can then have gratitude for that and leave that behind, whether you do that all in one go, or like me, you're doing it to the point where you're cutting down your hours and you're now getting, 2K, 5K, 10K, now 12.5K days, not even months, okay, but days, and and multiple of them. It's not just like a one, fluke thing. And also doing that in a way which is really respectful of your time, okay? So you're not just on the phone all lunch break, or all early morning or late night doing sales calls, or sitting there trying to do some complicated funnel, or going on your stories every 5 seconds doing something. I'm not saying you don't do some of those things, but there is a way to do it which is not burnout, and you need to know exactly what should I be focusing on, what's going to give the main result. And that is also sometimes not about the strategy, that's also about you. How do you work? Because reels and stories may work for one person, and some person may really just not like it, to the point that they may well be better off on sales calls. If they really want to, they may well be better off sending the DMs and emails as I do. right? They may well be better off making a whole funnel and paying someone to do it, and that's how they want to do it. It's not 100% about strategy. I mean, I've got a specific way to do things, but it's also about who you are as a person. This is the self-awareness piece, okay, in leadership, in self-leadership, that a lot of people miss out. They think, no, I can earn, it has to be done through live launch method. It has to be done through sales calls. No, it has to be done through, ClickFunnels, a funnel, just in that way. And 2CC and linchpin, and I'm not, all of those things are beautiful methods, and I've done all of them. Okay, so this isn't a criticism, please. It's not a criticism. I'm not one to bring people down at all. They're incredible. They're some of them are mental, so it's not that. But what I mean is, you can take elements that you feel work for you, but this is the big self-leadership piece that you really need to feel in your body and feel the energy. And that's the inner work, that's the healing work, the manifestation, and the self-leadership. And then to do it in a way where you can create this beautiful award-winning virtual service and best-selling books, and it doesn't have to be done in a crazy way, and putting your faith, your family, and your fitness first. All right, so homework is your why. Okay, so yesterday was your goal, today is your why, and also why now? Why now is the time? Why do you deserve this? Right, and I mean that not because I don't think you deserve it, but telling yourself sometimes we need convincing why you deserve this, all the hard work you've done, why it's your time right now to do this, okay, and why you felt pulled to do this. Why did you feel called to watch this? I'd love for you to comment that. Why did you feel pulled to watch this, to come see these various modules? Now, as you see, I like to keep them very short. Okay, I'm not here doing hours and hours. I like to get straight to the point, because if you're anything like me, you've got stuff you want to just get into the meat of it. Okay, so this is the work which is really important. Okay, so I want you to really focus on this, do the healing work, do the manifestation work, and then what I want you to do is to really hone in on why now. And if you are ready, click the link below and come and join me. Come and join my beautiful clients. Come and join us as we spend this year of life in our spiritual business and life incubator. Okay, come and join us. It's an incredible investment to make. I've done it before for my own mentors and my own coaches and my journey, and it was so worth it. It was scary at the time, right? If it's a good proper goal, it's meant to be scary and exciting both at the same time. Okay, so you've got this. Believe in yourself. That's what faith is. Believe in yourself. Yes, it's a discipline. Yes, it's a self-leadership. It does not have to mean crazy hustle anymore. Okay, I promise you, there is no more hustle here. We're going to do work. We are going to do work, yes, but in a balanced way. Okay, we talk about nutrition in this program: sleep, healing, chakra healing, meditation, meditation circles. This is so important, so integral. This is bigger than just some strategy that you can just go and Google, right? You can just go and Google. This is deep, elite mentorship to take you every single step of the way in each of those pillars: health, in your wealth, and in your relationships with others, starting with yourself. And you're going to see all three areas like that dramatically improve. I've been Dr. Vidya, sending you so much love and light. Namaste.